Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast for June 28th through July 4th. We're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Happy birthday, Cancer. We're still in Cancer season here. We're going to collect and see what is going on here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. If you fall upon this video outside of the dates I mentioned, don't you worry. You found it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever there were messages in it for you to hear on your journey and on your path. Keep in mind these are general readings. Not every single message will resonate, but take the ones that do. The first card that's coming up here is Six of Cups. Now, we need to talk about this before you guys start moaning and groaning and coming at me at the comments and saying you don't want to hear about people coming back from the past. Okay, I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings around love and romance. If you're new here, in the weekly readings, I don't talk about love and romance. I apply the cards outside of that. Okay, so I know Six of Cups has gotten typecast because a lot of people are used to watching love readings, and so it's gotten like certain cards are like typecast, right? And Six of Cups is one of those. But there's a lot of layers to the cards and there's a lot of meanings. And Six of Cups can indicate getting in touch with someone from the past or someone resurfacing. It doesn't have to be romantic, but even more deeper than that. Six of Cups has to do with matters of the past, okay? Now, sometimes Six of Cups comes up because we're focusing way too much on the past. We're looking back over our shoulder way too much. And typically it's because there's some kind of a regret. Like we think that things were better, but we made choices or we made decisions and we messed it up. Or, oh, things were so much better back then. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? It can also just be really, really going through childhood stuff or remembering childhood or inner child coming to the surface, okay? This is a general reading. This energy is going to affect you guys in different ways. But this is what you need to keep in mind when the Six of Cups comes up. You might be thinking about the past and you might be telling yourself, man, like things were better back then. Why did I make these choices? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? You're exactly where you're meant to be right now. And people have a tendency, it's a part of human nature, we have a tendency to remember things better than they actually were. Okay? If everything were so wonderful and so dandy and so perfect, you wouldn't have made the choices that you made. But then, right, when we move on and we move forward, and if we're like waiting for the next thing to happen, or we're not super clear about the future, we're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could run back to the past. And we completely and totally forget all the bad stuff. We completely and totally forget all the reasons why we wanted to leave a situation to begin with. And so Six of Cups encourages us to look at the past in a balanced way and to try not to get stuck there. Okay, try not to get stuck there. Some of you are in a period of your healing and in your path of your healing where you're not necessarily looking back with regret, but you might be feeling a lot of nostalgia or remembering a lot of things from your childhood. And some of you might be like wanting to watch cartoons from when you were a kid, or visit places or do things you haven't done in a long time. For some of you, you're entering into a period of really working with your inner child. And, people always ask, how do I do that? How do I do inner child work? The fact that this card is coming up, I feel those of you that are on that path, it's going to be coming to you very naturally. Just very naturally, very instinctually. You're going to be doing it without even realizing that you're doing it, the inner child clearing or the inner child healing. The next card coming up here for you guys is the Eight of Pentacles. So some of you might be pursuing a childhood dream in terms of a career or a creative project or an invention or something. Eight of Pentacles is going to come up when we're very focused and we're putting work and time and energy into something that's going to pay off for us, right? Sometimes it could indicate that a financial investment in some kind of education or training or equipment is going to be profitable for us. It's going to bring back a profit. It's going to bring us gains. Okay? But the main thing we need to keep in mind when the Eight of Pentacles comes up is Eight of Pentacles is reminding us that there's no hurry here. There's no need to rush. Okay? Your success is going to come by you paying attention to the details. Paying attention to the details, taking a break, coming back to it, okay? Working really hard, and taking the time to master something, to make it perfect, okay? I do feel some of you might have been working on some kind of manuscript. I keep hearing manuscript, and Spirit is showing me like an old manuscript that's like tied together with string. It's like something out of Little Women. But I feel some of you are having a second thought and you're wanting to take this back, and like you're redoing it or you're re-editing it, and you're getting upset with yourself and you're getting angry with yourself. Like, just be done with it already. Just finish it. Like, why are you doing this? Eight of Pentacles is encouraging you to make revisions, to take your time, to pay attention to the details. Some of you are stressed out at work. Maybe they've already come to you. Maybe they've already talked to you. And Spirit is saying, look, don't rush. As long as you slow down and pay attention to the details, you're going to be fine. Okay? That's it. Just pay attention to the details. Don't push. Don't rush. Don't panic. One step at a time, one thing at a time. Pay attention to details. Your next card that's coming up here for you guys is the Three of Wands. Okay? So some of you are doing something in terms of launching a product or an idea. There's a sense of enterprise that comes with the Three of Wands, right? It's like we're putting something out there. This is supposed to be a merchant, and he's watching the ships carry his goods away to different towns and different cities to sell them. Okay, so it's kind of like you're doing the work, you're putting it out there, and then you're going to have a profit come back to you. So it's kind of like a continuation of the energy of the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, but not everybody's working on self-employment. Not everybody's working on launching a business or a product. And in that way, the Three of Wands can be a coming together and exchanging ideas, like collaborating with other people. But deeper than that, Three of Wands has a meaning and a message of like, it's the point of no return. You've come too far in your journey to go back now, right? And that's the message here. This is like back in the old days. This is not a time when they had cell phones and email. He put those boxes on the ship and they set sail, and they're far away. He can't catch up to them. He doesn't have time to change his mind. He cannot call them. He cannot email them. He cannot say, oh guys, just kidding, I'm not ready. Cancel my agreement with you. Just bring back my goods when you get back into town, but I'm not ready for people to see it. I'm not ready to put it out there yet. He can't do that. Like, that's it. It's done. It's out there. And all he can do now is wait and see what happens. So sometimes the Three of Wands comes up to say, you're too far in the journey and too much has been done to stop now or to go backwards. There's no way to go but forward. And this is powerful, especially since your first card was the Six of Cups, Cancer, right? So some of you might be feeling a little bit frustrated. You might be like, well, things aren't happening as quickly as I want, or things aren't happening the way that I thought that they were going to be, or I'm looking at this person over here and that person over there, and it looks like everything is going so easy for them, but it's not going so easy for me, so I must not be on the right path. People have this misconception that when you're on the right path, everything is beer and Skittles, and everything just magically happens, and all the doors pop open. That's not the case. That's not the case. Okay, sometimes there's divine timing with a situation, especially if the things we're working on are going to be affecting or involving other people. right? You might be ready, but there might be people coming into the mix that you're going to have to work with, or that you're going to deal with, who you have soul contracts with, whether they be business, friendship, or romance. And those people might not be ready just yet. But it's too late to go back now. And that should not be scary. Or, I mean, I understand it could be scary, but that doesn't mean like it's doom and gloom. It doesn't mean that something is bad and wrong and, oh, it's too late now, forget it. Like, no, not in that way. Not in that way. There's no way to go but forward. Okay? You might have memories of the past. You might remember good things about the past. That's wonderful. That's great. But it's time to move forward. Some of you are tapping into something from your childhood and using it as inspiration to put into your future, or to go after certain childhood goals or dreams that you had. Some of you are manifesting that. Oh my gosh, I used to think about this when I was a kid. I always dreamed about living in this kind of a house, or I always dreamed about owning a horse, or whatever it might be, right? Or I always dreamed that I would get to go see this country one day, or get to go see this town one day, right? Or I always dreamed that I would have this kind of a family, or this kind of friends, right? Some of you are manifesting some dreaming from when you were a kid. Now, the next card you guys have coming up here is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, now Four of Pentacles can indicate that we're coming into a time that we're holding on to our money. Okay, now for those of you who are doing something in terms of business, I know it's on the rise right now, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if you go back to older videos, even before all this stuff happened, that shall not be named. With all the changes and the shifts in the economy, I had said that Spirit kept showing me that a lot of people were going to be going into self-employment. A lot of people were going to be going into doing things within their community, and like creating products and just, like working for themselves. And I saw something on the news the other day that said in the United States, it was 4 million people since April had quit their jobs, because a lot of people were saying that they were going to simplify their life, or they were going to be focusing on starting a business, or doing independent contract work from home or something. And so a lot of people are looking for independent forms of income right now. Four of Pentacles can sometimes come up to say that this isn't the time to go super big or go super hard with what you're putting in financially, right? We always hear it in business. You got to spend money to make money. And that's true. There's truth in that. But it doesn't mean you have to break the bank, okay? Don't go overboard. Only on necessity, okay? This is a good time to hold on to what you have financially and not go overboard. Also, with Four of Pentacles, outside of money, outside of business, Four of Pentacles sometimes comes up when we need to protect our physical space, okay? And that's going to look different for different ones of you. Some of you are looking into securing your home, right? Some of you might be hearing things on the news, and I know they say, oh, don't watch the news, and sometimes it's hard not to. But some of you might be hearing things on the news, or you might be noticing things within your community that you're saying, you know what? I'm going to put a little bit of money in. I'm not going to break the bank, but I'm going to put a little bit of money in here and securing my home environment. So maybe you're getting better locks. Maybe you're changing the locks, getting better locks on the doors. Maybe you're securing your windows in some kind of way. Maybe you're getting a home security system. Some of you might be thinking about literally, physically creating a sense of a fortress for yourself or for your family. For other ones of you, you may be needing to protect your physical space in the sense or in the way of taking back your body. So some of you might be feeling, especially those of you that are working through this inner child stuff, some of you might be feeling like you're not so comfortable with people standing super close to you, or some of you might be making a decision, even though this isn't a love reading, some of you might be making a decision that you're taking a little bit of a break from physical intimacy or that type of physical contact, and you're just kind of releasing the past and clearing the past, or just securing your space in general, in terms of like carving out a little corner for yourself, carving out a little sanctuary for yourself, that this is my space. This is where I go. The outside world cannot enter here. This is where I relax. This is where I do my creative stuff. This is where I do my planning. This is where I do my praying, my meditating, listening to music, unwinding, resting, whatever it is. And so some of you are feeling the need for space, okay? I feel that this is big energy in terms of, I'm hearing turning over a leaf. Some of you are wanting to turn over a leaf. You have a lot of regrets about how things have been done in the past. Maybe even some of you, you're regretting the way that you may have handled certain situations. And I feel that you feel as though you've missed opportunities. And Spirit is saying, don't worry. There's new opportunities coming. You don't have to be in a rush and break the bank and try to push them and make them happen super fast. Take care of you right now. Take care of you. Focus on creating a sense of safety in your everyday life, a sense of security. Feel it in your heart. Take whatever steps that you can take right now so that you can feel that way. And you will see more and more of it flow into your life. Okay? Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love readings will be linked in the description of the video. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, my dears. Take care.